all that stuff.
Yep.
And,
Sorry about that.
so she's her writing style, so I said it was cute, but they were talking about their animal critters out there and the fox family and all them. They had to bury the bodies when the babies were eating whatever the family was. She said, "Well,
Oh,
we had to bury the bodies," and it's like, "Uh-huh." I was someone said, "Oh, you're right. I love your writing style," which is really great. She says, "Yeah, Paul made it the first draft," and she said, "and I prettied it up." It's really cute.
nice. Well, let's get started. I'm gonna say a
Yeah, I
prayer.
give you permission.
All right. So placing my hands on my heart. Taking that deep cleansing breath of love and gratitude. So grateful for this opportunity to come together, to be the two or more who are gathered in the name and the nature of love. Grateful for an opportunity to join together, to hold the light for each other, to hold the high watch for each other, to rise above the battlefield for each other when we don't feel that we can do it on our own. We're grateful to know that our um, that love is all that we are, and that we are so willing to shine away any and all blocks to that love, knowing that they are nothing and they are falling away back into that nothingness. We're grateful for our mighty companions, our earthly and heavenly helpers, and ask that they join us during our conversation today, blessing us and guiding us, blessing the technology that we get to use to come together each week. And we are beautifully open and receptive to receive all of the blessings that they have for us. We're also grateful to be willing to share those blessings and the love that we are with Mother Earth and all of her beings, knowing that we are one. In grace and gratitude, we let it be. And so it is. Amen. So happy to have you all here. Um, we are in the section, it's page XLV in my book, doing the complete and annotated Circle of Atonement version of A Course in Miracles. And it's the section called A Portrait of the Historical Jesus and His Teachings. Yeah, Lord, there was so much. There was so much in here. So I think I'm going to start us with yeah, I will. I'm going to start us with the third paragraph where he says, like many other sages, Jesus lays before his audience two pathways. The first is the way of the world. One might assume that, being a religious teacher, he would see the way to be avoided as consisting of sinful disobedience to God's laws. However, for him, the problem lies in conventional life itself, the life that we all are leading, which he portrays in surprisingly realistic terms. The characters in his sayings are trying to make their way in a harsh world, guided by the usual self interest and egotism. They are filled with anxiety and self concern as they contemplate what they are up against. They are anxious about money, about food and clothing. They are beset by enemies, poverty, disease, and death. They are trying to climb the social ladder, excuse me, or they are being stepped on at the bottom of it. They are desperately trying to win at a game in which, strangely, even the winners end up losing. They are, in short, a lot like us. That line cracked me up so bad. I'm like, uh-huh. And that honestly is why his stories, whether in A Course in Miracles or in the Bible, when you're reading the words of Jesus, it's still so relatable. It still speaks to us. And you know, and speaks to us the truth. The truth is that any suffering that we're doing is of our own making and of our own mind. And again, that does not mean that when things are happening that are uncomfortable or challenging, that feeling your feelings is not a thing to do. To me, that is exactly the thing to do. You feel how you feel, you check in with your inner wisdom and, you know, what is mine to do right now? And sometimes what is mine to do is scream at the top of my lungs and throw a temper tantrum like a 2-year-old. And other times it's like, okay, I'm done with that. It's time to move on, you know? But, you know, going right there, if you're not there yet, is what they call the spiritual bypass. That has never been helpful for me. So, yeah, so that's where I'm starting us with. Who else would like to share from what they got out of the reading this week?
Well, I found it comforting that it states that he loves indiscriminately and there's not this judgment.
Yes.
And he doesn't choose, you know, between good and bad, and you did this and you did that. So that was refreshing again. I said that a couple of weeks in a row, but it does keep kind of renewing me.
Yeah, absolutely. There is no sinner, there's no saints. We're all just one, you know, making our way through this life with what we have and what we don't seem to have. Yeah, exactly. That's how I felt too, Deborah. Carla and then Nancy Gale.
Oh, I'm unmuted.
Yes, you are.
So, gosh, it's so rich, but I'm going on page XLVII. It's the third page. It's right in the middle of the second paragraph. But so many of Jesus' sayings depict the kingdom as something that individuals can enter now, something that is spread out upon the earth, and men do not see it. In this view, to enter the kingdom is to perceive reality so differently that we, in effect, live in a different world. In this world, the unconditional care of God becomes our experiential reality, and that we are released from the crippling self-concern that plagued us before. Anxiety has been replaced by celebration. Now we are carefree, knowing we are cared for. There's a lot of words in this. Words really cannot. I mean, we've been told by written words what the truth is, and it's really challenging with the ego mind or the world that shows us a different to put it all together. But I'm really starting to put it all together. We're not a body. We're not just a body. Right now, we are here in a body, but we're not just a body. We are truth. We are love. And so we learn how to tie our shoe or how to go to the bathroom, all the stuff that we have to seem to learn. We get lost in it. And we can say that it's very challenging each moment things happen. Like right now, something happened with all my poems. All my poems, David had to go in and save them. And so I can't access them for 24 hours. And so, look, things happen all the time. And it looks like something else. I think it's because, oh, it's because my ACIM, no, I don't think that's true. I think something is always there, has always been there, even in the garden, a snake or whatever that it's, I'll name it something, I'll name it darkness, because love is light. So whereas light is gone, it's unlove and it's darkness. And so it kind of seems to be set this all the time, and we don't know what's happening. It's okay. It's my path to choose love. And as I choose love more fully in every moment, in every experience, in everything, every breaking my leg or wearing diapers and whatever, not being able to pull my own pants up when I go to the bathroom. I mean, it looks like it's something, but I'm grateful for every single thing that happens. So I want to share with you. Can words truly convey how we feel? I think not. But that will not stop me from using them or end my desire to convey to you in the human aspect my deep desire that you know just as deeply how I know. And by knowing, I mean feel as close to what I feel. There is nothing I would not do. No human desire I would not let go of. No other feeling but pure love that I desire to feel for you. No action or feeling coming from you that would distract me. No grievance I would hold on to, or that I would let ever stop me, my divine self, from accepting you as you choose to see yourself while in this human form, and expressing yourself while in this human form, or what you choose to believe. Nothing, absolutely nothing will ever stop me from loving your complete self or distract myself from knowing the energy that you truly are. Nothing. Nunca, niches, ever. We're all practicing how to do what we're going to be God in form. And we all make choices. Sometimes it's less than the most loving choice. We can choose again. We can always choose again. Where we're created by God is something. We cannot change it by our choices, over here in the human aspect. Trust, trust, love. Love will guide you back to love. And loves you so much. There's nothing you could ever do that could end that.
Thank you, Carla. Beautiful. Nancy Cal.
Oh, I was going to say, um, the other day I had a major meltdown thing, right back to this is the week my mom passed away. It's be Thursday. It's actually she passed away Thursday at midnight, which is the the day of the year where it's the longest and the shortest. It's all that's anyways, and right after that I just like forget it. Anyways, and I said, "Oh my gosh, this is like." And it's like I was going down that spiral, and I was like, forget it, forget it, forget it. She didn't get her love, blah, blah. And it's like, I thought, oh my gosh. And it's I stayed there for a little while. And then all of a sudden I remember, I said, no, I can't stay here. I can't stay here. This is just like, no. And then I said, so what did I do? I got all of my books. I got the course, the blue book. I got this, this one Jennifer told us up a couple years, a little story about the biggest thing that ever happened. It looks like a kid's book, but it's like I love it. I went back to the end, and I said it's like I took that to bed with. I take my books to bed with me actually, and after I listened to the lesson, because that's the thing I listen to at bedtime. That's what I fill my mouth, my what do you call it, in my mouth with the truth, all the truths, and and then the Sacred Flames book, and I was reading in that, and then one of our journals had one of their prayers for the world and everything, and then it's like I said. So the point being, what I did was if I go down to that, it's okay to die because there's no point, and I didn't ever gonna get my goal because she's dead, which is all the lie stuff. And once I get there, and I said, so what's the I went I filled my just went and said and read all the truth I knew because everything I picked to read, it was like spirit. I said, what do I do here? And it's like spirit said, just read all the ones that the truth. Everything I picked to read is all the things that I know are true. If there's I have no and when I first picked up the blue book, the course book, and the first thing I read, the top of the page, I can still see it. I don't remember what it was or what page, but it was something. It's Jesus. I said I knew it was Jesus, and it was true. So that's what I did. It's like I said, I just went and I just read all the truth. I read the epilogue from after the lessons. That is so comforting and everything. So I just read that stuff and I filled my mind and my heart with the truth, and then I was fine. So
That's
just
beautiful.
truth. I just know it. It's like, and this is so well written. The way it's so easy to read this. I don't have to stop. I can read it without having to stop it and say look up every word and figure it all out. Now I know all the stuff, and now I am reading this. I wish I could have read this in the beginning. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe the fact that I read the other one and I had to struggle a little bit with what the meanings of all the things were and all that. And now that I have done all that, and then I read this and it says yes. And I just like, yes, yes, yes. And I can just go through and it's like, thank you, Jesus. Anyway, I'm done.
Thank you, Nancy Gill.
Thank
That's
you.
so beautiful. So beautiful.
Whoops, wait a second.
Anybody else like to share anything from our reading this week or something else that happened this week? Challenge that you're facing? Well, I did have my favorite line in the whole section is the second half of the last sentence, where it says, in the words of Isaiah, the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. It's us. Like we are, I think our bodies are made of like 90% water, something like that. We are the knowledge of the Lord. We have it within us and we just cover it up. And so when I read something like that, it just reminds me that we already have all of the knowledge that we need within us. All we're doing is peeling back the layers of crud that we have added on top of that truth, you know, since we could have a thought outside of God. Yeah. Go ahead, Nancy.
You know, I was thank you for that, Linda.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That, you know, I saw this the other day when I forget who was talking, but I said the other day, it's like we use the butterfly, the caterpillar goes in the cocoon and comes out the butterfly. It's simple. Okay, and so I thought I was same thing what you were saying. Um, it's like we are created by God. When it says when he created us, you know, that's just his son, which we are all part of. He gave us everything. He just it's like the amoeba. It's like it grows by it just extends itself. So whatever, it doesn't make a separate part.
Right.
It just extends itself. It's like a balloon. You fill a balloon and it just gets bigger. Doesn't have a split off into pieces. It just gets bigger. And that's what God did. And so everything that God is, we are.
Yeah.
And so wait, my mind is just a minute. And it's like, so I was thinking, and what you just said, we accumulate the crud, whatever. All right, so we are the caterpillar. Say I'm the caterpillar. I'm in this world that I quote. I'm just using the terms. And I came in, and then at the course of my life, I get told stuff or whatever, experience stuff, and I either make a meaning of it,
Mm-hmm.
or I accept into my mind and heart the other meanings and everything that I believe, since stuff that I've been told. And it's like as I go along through my life, and it's like I am covering myself with, or filling myself, my mind and heart, with all of this stuff in this world, all that ego stuff. And so then it's like I'm building that cocoon as I go along, until it's like so hard, and it's like, and then it's like, and I'm in it. Um, and then it's like it hardens. And so then that struggle is, so, and while that's when it's like I've got to miss the link here between the two. It's like, um, I want out of the cocoon. I don't like being in there. And then it's like, and then it's just like whatever happens in the cocoon, it's like that's when what do you call it? The realization. Um, and then it's like that you know, I've had enough of this, I want out. And then you struggle to get out, and then you break it out, and then you're the new being form.
Yeah.
And so being the visual person, it's like I said, now I have that, and it's like, okay, That's what I came up with the just
Yeah.
this week, just listening to everybody, that's and reading, um, and, I've seen all like, the books that Jennifer has us read or, suggests we read that she likes to discuss, and now that I hear it, you know, these viewers, and it's now that I am where I am now, looking at it's like, and I'm seeing the culmination of my life experiences and all the garbage stuff and all the trauma and everything like that. And I like what you were saying earlier. It's like I'm looking back at all that, and I'm the product of all of that at the moment. I'm where I'm at from all that stuff,
Yes.
and I'm also out of the cocoon.
Yeah. And it's the
And
struggle that made you beautiful.
yes, because if you don't have the struggle with the butterfly, it needs the struggle to put the blood or whatever in its wings.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's gonna. Oh my God! I just read. Yes, 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 yes. I hadn't thought of that before. And it's like, and people are saying, this is, and I'm thinking, almost. It's like every time there's this major, major thing in my life. It's a perfect opportunity for that ego stuff to. I always say that's when we're down on your, awake. It's when we're weak and all that. That's when he strikes really hard because you're right at the point of truth. You're right at the point of truth, and he's like, okay, if I let her, I'm just making it. Uh, if I let her get open her eyes or have the truth real, then then this ego's dead. Right? So
Yeah.
whenever you're really, really down and you're right at the breakthrough, the truth is right on the
Yeah.
other side of the door.
All you have to do is course correct and choose again.
Right. Just remember that's what's happening.
Yes.
Yes, to remember that's now that I know that's what's happening, it's like so like the other day I said, "Aha, I remember the last time." And
Yeah.
that's the moment. Okay, I'll just tell you this story. My mother had died in, it's the 21st at the midnight, right? And I've done all that. And then, it was like Will went back to work, the kids went back to school, and it was like a 2-month Tuesday, and it was Tuesday. It was like the 14th or 17th or whatever it was. I remember. And so they were, and I was in bed, and it's like I had got to the point where the only goal I had in life was to get my mother to accept me and approve of me and love me. And she never did. And so then she died, and I said, "Okay, that's the only goal I had." And I said, I didn't reach my goal. I failed." And I said, "Well, there's no point in living because I didn't have any other goal." And so I said, "Okay, this is day. I'm just going to die." It's like I was in bed, laying bed. So I decided I was going to the bathroom, and I couldn't move. I tried to get. I could not move. I was paralyzed. So like I got so freaking angry. I said, "Son of a gun!" And I was looking at the closet door down at the end of the other room. And it was like I said, I started yelling. I said, "The ego." I said, "Devil, ego, whatever it was." I said, "You wait until the person is really on the, down like this, and then you strike at them." And I screaming at this again. All of a sudden, the windows. It's like the room filled with this light, and it's like, uh huh. And I knew it was like instantaneously. I knew it was God or spirit, whatever. I knew it's God. And it was like God was telling me, "That's a lie. That's a lie." Instantly. And I remember saying, it's like, "You came to me. You came to me. You came to me and you told me the truth. I'm yours." And then I don't know if I went back to sleep or lay there for a little while, but then I got up, went in, took a shower. It was like there was snow and everything. I walked up the hill behind our house. Our houses were like built on a hill, behind the ladies, I walked up to her and went in to the front door. She leaves it open. She had broken her back and it never had healed, so she was laying on the couch. And I just her name's Aileen. And I walked in the door and she was laying on the couch and I just sat there next to her and I said, I got to tell you what just happened. And I said, I don't know if you believe in God. She says, well, I'm an agnostic. I said, what's that? She said, well, I know there's a God, but I don't believe that he cares about me. Well, that's I could understand if she knows she can't. She's an older woman too. And it's like I told her. And she just accepted it and loved me. And it was like, never, no judgment, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I walked back home. And I was like, I never told anybody for a while. Because they wouldn't believe me. I mean, back then, nobody, I'm in a Southern Baptist church, right? Uh-huh. So I never told. But that was a moment. And I said, after that lifetime of hell, it's like. So anyways, now you've heard my story.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, and well, Amy and Paul, when they were here, they left their Christmas card and said they have like a little note thing, and inside, and then the last thing, where did I put it? I wanted to read it to you. Is like, the last thing was at the very end. It says, let me read it to you. It's very short. I'll get it. Hold on a second. No. Here it is. It's as Christmas is a season of hope and joy. Now, Paul is I don't call him a minister, but they have the Halsey Valley Victory House. It's their like chapel type ministry thing. As Christmas is a season of hope and joy, we must give God the glory for bringing Amy's mom through 18 months of treatment for 2 separate cancers. She beat them both and is thankful for all the prayers. Praise the Lord. And it's like, here's the picture, the card. Can you see it?
Aw. Yep.
There's each sitting in a rocking chair. Look, if you can see behind Paul, the window, I can't tell if you can see
Yeah,
it.
I can see the window.
At the window frame, it's an H. It's an H. Halsey Valley Victory House. The H and the H, and there's the hope, etc. And the V, Victory House, the V, right? Okay, and in the middle, over the wreath, is a, oh, I tell you, sorry, it's like, it's picture is beginning to get seasick here. It's
Just
a
explain it.
little picture. It says in the middle, it has the word middle across the middle of the picture. It says middle. And then the crescent thing is a C. That's in black. It's a C. And C, and so he's a musician, and also C is a middle C. It's like middle C. It's a,
Yeah.
in the piano, in the music thing, middle C is where you start.
Yeah.
And then you get to victory. And it's like, oh my gosh.
Yep. You've gotten to victory.
Isn't-
That's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Hearing
Oh,
all
and
that.
they have they recorded their band and their thing. They recorded some different things this year, and it says they were released at the end of the year, blah blah. And their listeners besides USA, our biggest listener audiences come from Mexico and the Philippines. And where's GJ live?
Yeah, in the Philippines, Glazy
The
too.
Philippines. Right.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my gosh, I gotta share this with them.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for all the years of listening to me and my story. And I look back now and I see the struggle. I see all of that. And it's like, it's such the miracle. And the miracle a miracle, today's miracle, is made up of all the little miracles along the way. The path of the miracle or the miracle way, the miracle path.
Exactly.
I can like flying high.
Thank you, my friend. Hmm. Who else would like to share? I was thinking our resident butterfly expert might, but she doesn't have to.
You know, it's like I also been in this community for quite a while, and it's like this year has been totally amazing to see what people have gone through and to see all of the miracles in our lives and all
Yeah.
of the people and the growth and it's like the love and everything. It's just I'm just watching everybody else. eh, um, I'm an
Bloom.
observer actually, but and it's like I'm watching Jennifer. It's like the same thing. She's so grown and she's like, and it's
Yeah.
for real. It's just totally amazing.
Yeah. Life is a miracle, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else want to share a miracle or Carol? And then Kathleen.
Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be here. I debated sharing today. Just have something very short to share with you. I've been reading with Carla. We meet once a week, and we've been reading The Way of Mastery. The Way of Mastery is a lovely, lovely text, also authored by Jesus. However, anybody wants to accept that or not, I do, because the way the book is expressed is very similar, actually more similar to this purple annotated edition of A Course in Miracles. So the flavor of the words and the sentiments and the thoughts and the imparted knowledge is very similar. So I have I have come across, there's 3 sections to the book, and I think the part that I am going to speak from is called The Way of Transformation. It's the way of the heart, the first part, the way of transformation, and then the way of mastery is the last third of the book. Anyway, there's this little section that I kind of grabbed onto, and it's what I do before I start my morning prayers or whatever I do in the morning, my quiet time. It's very simple, but what it does is it kind of establishes me in my in my who I am. And it gives me that foundation. It's very, very simple. I start with just proclaiming, this is from the book, okay? This is word for word. In Christ, as Christ, in perfect safety, I release all resistance. So then I add to that, I release any negativity, guilt, shame, blame, imagined unworthiness, anything negative that I can think of, I release it. Then, as Christ in perfect safety, I dissolve my mind into the perfect peace of God. Now, it seems like, okay, maybe that's an audacious thing to say or do, but that's the directive in the book. So, what that tells me is we are the Christ to whatever degree we know, we understand, we live that life, that light, those miracles, that faith. That is who we are. We share that. And in the Bible, didn't Jesus even say, more than this, you're going to do more than I ever did? And aren't we? We are. Okay, there's a second part to this little prayer that's very, very simple, right? As Christ in perfect safety, I release all resistance. So you're allowing any resistance within you to go, to leave. You don't want it. You let go of it. And then as Christ in perfect safety, I dissolve my mind into the perfect peace of God. You join with Christ. You join with that Jesus. Then I accept the love of God. And I thought about that. It's something to say, I accept the love of God. I do it on an in-breath and an out-breath. I accept, breathe in, the love of God, breathe out. You know, we don't do it, but we think we do. We think we live it, but to say it brings it power. We accept God's love, period. I accept it every single day, and saying it gives it somehow more power. So then the second part of that is I accept the love of God. And as Christ, I have celebrated the truth of who I am. As Christ, I have celebrated the truth of who I am, and I bring peace to the world this day. It's a very short little, takes maybe 10 minutes to do those few little sentences, but it anchors me in my identity, no matter what goes on the rest of the day, no matter whether I stumble and have to ask forgiveness, no matter whether I have to do that part of the course that says, you know, God, I messed up. Could you please undo whatever it was that I did or said that I did not desire to because it wasn't loving? It's just so simple, but it anchors my heart, my mind, my soul, my spirit in my identity. We are the I am. We are the divinity within us. That is our identity. No matter what we experience on a daily basis, that cannot change, does not change. So I'm just sharing that little tidbit with you. You can probably Google it, look up the way of mastery and the way of transformation, which I think is that part of the book. And that it's just a little prayer. It doesn't take very, very long, but it is so, to me, very powerful. And it supersedes any whatever's going on in my life with whoever. It just reminds me the way Jesus said, you're going to do more. You're going to be more. I'm just an example of how things can be for you and will be for you through your faith. So just wanted to share that a little bit to, you know what, it's keeping it simple is really all it is. And I just wanted to share that little tidbit with you to remind us, no matter what's going on, we are the Christ in people's lives, in our little worlds. We are, however imperfect we think we are or seem to be, we are not. We truly are not. We are the light. We are the love. We are the joy. We are the forgiveness. We are the wisdom.
Amen.
Because there's no other. This is what we are. This is who we are. This is the truth.
Yeah.
I
Thank
just wanted to share that little tidbit with you because I love you so much. And I'm so blessed to be part of this group. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you. Kathleen, and then Grace.
Well, I didn't really raise my hand, but I just got back from driving home from Huntsville, Alabama. It took me 2 days. I just got here, that's why I was late. Yeah, so practicing the course the whole time I'm there. It's a Christian wedding and was held outdoors, even though it was only 47 degrees. It was my nephew. And the preacher talked about Jesus dying on the cross for our sins. You know, that was at the very end of what he said, but it was all about, you know, Peter in the Bible saying how important our relationship to the church is. Inside, I'm like, no, our relationship is between us and God. The church, that's Saint Paul, you know, and then the dying on the cross thing. But anyway, I just like sat there loving everybody and tried to talk to my sister a little bit about the course, but she's just like, no, so resistant that I don't. And I like this little thing that we are reading today. It's really very clear and talking about probably really was Jesus that wrote the book, and also the one that you were talking about, Carol. That was I have that book too. I gave it to another one of my sisters. I need to buy it again. But anyway, just driving home, like I set my intention that all the people around me are part of my mind and that we're all moving together to get each other home safely. And it works really well. The drive is usually really easy. On the other hand, driving with my brother-in-law to and from the hotel, he screams and yells the whole time at drivers, no matter what they're doing. And I had to cover my head and my ears just to get from the wedding venue back to our hotel, which was about 25 minutes. So today I just sent him a little text and said, I hope that, just I have an idea, like for a visualization, pretend the people in the cars are all the people that you met at the wedding, because he's really social and lovely and sweet. And, it's your choice to have a peaceful drive. So, just using the course all the time and then watching my own thoughts, watching my thoughts. And if somebody does do something slightly scary with their car, and I do get a teeny bit angry or afraid, then I get over it really fast. And so, the tools are really practical. And then having done the Holy Encounter workshop with Robert Perry, every time I meet someone, and I forget to do this, that it's a holy encounter no matter who I just met. Holy encounter, it's me, myself, and Jesus I'm meeting. And that was a little tougher for me. I want to avoid and pull back from people who overwhelm me. I get overly stimulated quickly by people. And I have to pull back and remind myself that I'm okay and that I'm safe and that I'm powerful and that I'm a miracle worker and that I can bring something to this interaction, not just have to pull away out of like freaking terror that comes up when somebody comes at me. Whew. So, it's just all getting used to using the tools and knowing that we're safe no matter what happens. Yeah, that's about all I have to share. I went on a date with the guy before I went to this wedding. He paid for everything. We went down to the Keys. We went to a butterfly sanctuary, and these butterflies kept landing on his blue shirt, and he was so pleased and so excited and so happy that the butterflies chose him. One finally landed in my hair, but that was a really cool trip. There was something in it that was miraculous, that this man wanted to pay for everything. And we're doing a lot of stuff, and it's $45 each or $30 each, or the motel, 3 nights at a motel. And I'm like, wow, I've not experienced this, I don't think ever where I don't have to pay for anything, and I created it. Yay. So that was really fun, but I'm glad to be back home, me and my cat.
I'm so glad, Kathleen. Yeah, it's funny. I was imagining your brother-in-law and his poor blood pressure while
I
he's
know.
driving. But I know that one of the things that I use that is very helpful for me when I'm feeling anxious or unsafe is just a quick prayer to Archangel Michael, and just saying, Archangel Michael ahead of me, Archangel Michael behind me, Archangel Michael to the left of me, Archangel Michael to the right of me, Archangel Michael above me, Archangel Michael below me, Archangel Michael within me, Archangel Michael all around me. Because I'm super empathic too, and can feel overwhelmed in groups, which I feel is like, I'm like an extrovert that wants to be an introvert or vice versa. Because of that, because I feel like too peopled sometimes. So, yeah, and I'm so glad you had that lovely experience with that date. You so deserve to be taken care of like the queen that you are, my friend. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for everybody's shares.
Yeah. Thank you. Grace.
I'm here. I'm just wrapping presents. So, Carol, I want to see how much you love us. Can you show me? I need that today. Perfect. And yes, I second what you said to Kathleen. I mean, Butterfly Man sounds like the perfect match for her, right? Butterfly Boy. And yesterday I also drove down from Oregon to San Francisco. It was treacherous. It was non-stop torrential rain the minute I hit California. And I was not enjoying it particularly. I kept having to stop. I kept having to slow down to 50 miles an hour, 40. And I left at 8 in the morning and it took me 12 hours to get here. It was a 7.5-hour drive. But I was like 10 minutes away from home, and I was thinking, just be careful. It started to rain again. I was just thinking, be careful. The guy in front of me spun round and hit the guy next to him, and I only just stopped in time. And well, that's how life is now. We're always taken care of. Don't give it a second thought. It just always happens, and it doesn't necessarily mean you know, in God consciousness 24 hours a day, because no, that's not happening, but it's the goal. But anyway, the young man whose car span was very upset, but I managed to get him out of his car onto the side and just comfort him a little bit. It was a new car. And the last thing his grand said to him on the way before he left was, "Don't get in an accident." And that's all he could think about. So I said to him, well, how about don't get hurt? You know, because that's working. Anyway, so I did want to tell you about something, and I wish I could remember what it was. Paula might be able to remind me because I was ranting on about it yesterday. Yes. I was having some funky stuff going on in a relationship, and it's been going on and off for quite a while. And I was listening to Joel Goldsmith because I figure in my generation, he's probably one of the most enlightened people. I mean, if he was healing all these people every day without talking to them, I'm figuring, ooh, you know, that's pretty. But anyway, he was talking about stuff, and he was going, I think it was him that said to him, well, don't forget, you know, that's not really happening. And then he goes, and don't forget that person's not real. You dreamt him up. Oh my God. And I just had a really, really huge shift in the fact that here I am projecting all my stuff onto this person. Then I'm judging him for my stuff. And then I'm trying to fix it from my ego as well. And I just had a huge epiphany, you know, that it just stop doing that. Just stop it. Just stop it. That he is me and I am him. Now, what do you think of that? And I thought, ooh. Not much. So yeah, sometimes nothing happens for a while, and then suddenly I get this huge kick in the pants to just show me what I'm doing. But apropos what Carol was saying about the morning thing, about accepting God's love, yes, accepting it. The same teacher, Joel, said there's an important step you have to make, and most students don't do it. It's true that we are loved with a love we can't even imagine, and it's unconditional. It doesn't matter what we do, we're not doing anything first of all, to accept our uncorruptible innocence, which sometimes is hard to accept, especially when you're messing around like I have been doing in this relationship. Just to remember, God, you are innocent. There's nothing you are doing that's wrong. And if I can just take on board that incorruptible innocence that I am, that we all are, kind of makes a difference. But he said one other important thing that I'm just trying to focus on this week. He said, yeah, God's love is available for everybody. It's there all the time, and he's loving you and he's caring for you. And he said, and you have to invite him in. He's standing at the door of your heart and he's knocking. He will not come in without an invitation. And I thought, man, am I seriously inviting him? And it's like all the time, whatever's going on. Am I really opening the door and saying, come in, eat with me, stay with me, hang out with me? Because he's waiting for that, and he won't actually jump in until we open that door. And there's that very famous painting by Holman Hunt. And I know they've put Jesus in the body of a man, but anyway, it's a picture of a door and he's knocking on that door. And that just helps me to understand it a little bit, that there is a step that we should take if we want to have that personal connection with God and let him in. And that step is invite him, however many times a day we need to invite him. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Grace. I'm so glad you're safe. I'm so glad you made it on that trip. And what a beautiful reminder, especially as we're entering into the week of Christmas. Listen for the knock, invite him in, pour him a cup of coffee, tell him your troubles, tell him your joys and your blessings.
Yeah. And I had a thought and it's probably just drifted off. Thoughts are just coming and going, and that's good. Yeah, that really everything that's going on the surface of my life, God's not involved in at all, because he could never come down to that consciousness. He would never tolerate hatred and cruelty and starvation. So none of that's anything to do with him. So I do need to get myself onto a different consciousness if I do want to have a chat with God. Yeah, I can't say, would you help me with the driving today? Because that's not going to happen. It's like, what driving? But if it's like, can I feel your presence here every day? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And he has helpers. He has invisible helpers that we can call on every moment of every day to help us. So next
Can I
week,
just,
Linda, who are the, oh, sorry, go ahead, Nancy Gale.
I was just going to say, like in the impersonal life, and Jennifer said this, I remember months ago, she said, I remember just the Holy Spirit is within you.
Yeah.
And that's what comes to, Jesus came. And instead of he's like, and so it's like I start remember, it's like I keep remember, and it's like you just said, Linda, who's knocking? I said, who's knocking at my heart? Who's knocking at the door?
It's always me.
Thank you for that, Grace. And it's like, I put all this together, and it's like, oh my gosh! But now that I know Spirit is within me,
yes,
all I have to do is think, and that's like, just think and say, talk to him.
Absolutely.
He's always with me.
Yeah.
Never alone. Thank
you. Yeah.
It's a bit of a paradox, really, isn't it? That it's in me, closer than my breath, closer than my heart, closer than my voice. So there's that, but then I also have to invite him in. Sometimes it's a bit, but you know, the brain would love to take that on and pull that to pieces. So I'm just going to go with, I'm just going to go with omnipresent.
Yeah. And you know, the butterfly doesn't have to do anything, or the caterpillar doesn't have to do anything to turn into the butterfly. It's just a natural thing that happens. And that's the same with us. It's the same with us. We don't have to do any work to become the butterflies that we were always meant to be. Just surrender to what you are. Just surrender.
It's all in our mind. It's all in our mind.
So next week, page XLVIII, implications for A Course in Miracles. It is also 3 pages, and then we will move on to Introduction to the Complete and Annotated Edition. I'm not going to read our Pathways of Light because we're already beyond time, but I do want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, and thank you very much for being a blessing in my life. And just knowing that, especially during this week, that the Christ light is entering is bright and lovely within each one of us. And as we go through the solstice on Thursday, know that that light is growing every moment of every day. So thank you all.
Thanks, Linda.
Merry
Christmas.
Merry
Thank you,
Christmas.
everybody. Thank you.
Love you all.
Next week.
Happy
Bye.
Christmas.
Happy
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.